Star Citizen developers Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries are being sued. They're being sued by Crysis developers Crytek over use of Cryengine. And awful sentences like that are what happen when you put the word cry in all of your brand names.
In December, troubled games developer Crytek started legal proceedings against Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries over alleged misuse of the Cryengine game engine. Why troubled? Well, because in the last few years there's been reports of unpaid wages and the firm actually shut down multiple studios in December 2016. Crytek's problem with Star Citizen, they said, came down to the general license agreement that Star Citizen's developers signed with them. Crytek say their Cryengine tech was supposed to be used on just one game, Star Citizen, rather than two, including the single-player offshoot Squadron 42. When the license was signed, Crytek argued Squadron 42 was not a separate product to Star Citizen.
Well, in their spicy legal rebuttal to these claims, Cloud Imperium now says the license agreement they signed gave them the right to use Cryengine for, quote, the game currently entitled Star Citizen and its related space fighter game Squadron 42. Now, Crytek also claims Cloud Imperium had agreed to use Cryengine exclusively, but they're now using Amazon's Lumberyard engine to power Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Side note, Amazon Lumberyard is actually itself based on Cryengine. But in their response, Cloud Imperium say Crytek are twisting the words that were actually written in the license agreement. As far as they're concerned, the agreement said they exclusively had the rights to use Cryengine, which of course is a bit different. Quote, the GLA eliminates virtually every claim and remedy Crytek seeks. Crytek's admission that defendants are not even using Crytek software gets rid of the rest. Cloud Imperium says it now wants the case dismissed in its entirety with prejudice. Failing that, Cloud Imperium would like the offending allegations struck on grounds of being, quote, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous.
It shouldn't be a surprise to see Cloud Imperium flying out the gates like this. Back when Crytek filed the suit in December, the Star Citizen makers had promised to defend vigorously against the meritless claims against them. Crytek is seeking damages for all this, and they want a permanent injunction stopping CIG, quote, from continuing to possess or use the copyrighted work.
This is getting serious. Crytek's initial kind of filing of the court case against Star Citizen developers Cloud Imperium was pretty heavy. You know, they want a lot of stuff. They want money. They want damages, and they want Cloud Imperium to stop using their material or whatever that they've used so far to make the game. Now, Cloud Imperium have come out with this really kind of ferocious defense, just saying, fuck off, basically. And it really is some strong words here. Another thing we should point out that we didn't mention in the voiceover is Crytek are actually annoyed that they have removed the Cryengine logo from all Star Citizen marketing material. Well, they're not using Cryengine anymore, but that apparently was part of the deal because they let Cloud Imperium use their engine for like a cheaper price. So that part of the deal was you put our logo everywhere. This is a bit messy, and just the context, the situation that Crytek are in at the moment does make that a bit more interesting.
Obviously, that's to lay off loads of people at the end of 2016. They're in financial difficulties. All that is well known. So this kind of screams of desperation, does it not? Like they're trying to get as money from a deal that maybe they don't have a leg to stand on. I'm not a legal person. I won't tell you what's right and what's wrong in this case. But it just seems like they're displacing some sort of emotional reaction. It's like you're at home, you walk in your bare feet, and you kick a box or something, and then you shout at your wife for leaving the box there in the first place. You know what I mean? Just like, ugh. It's like that emotion. Not that I'd ever do that, obviously.
A window into the
not that I'd ever do
that. For Gareth Evans.
It's not me. It's not me.
So I mentioned in the intro and in the voiceover there, Cloud Imperium Games and Robert Space Industries. The company has two identities, so that's kind of why we did that, just because it's easier to reference. But it's the Cloud Imperium that are getting sued here. And I guess if you're a backer of the game, it's probably encouraging to see the people who made the game coming out to defend it as vigorously as they have and really put some strong words down there and really defend the game. Because if you've backed this game, you've put money into it. What you don't want is for all that money to go into a court battle, right? So I guess it's encouraging signs if you've supported the game. So there we go, that's Cloud Imperium Games' response to Crytek over this whole legal mess. Let us know what you think of this down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. You can check out that video right there, right now if you want, and the link to Patreon if you do want to support the channel. See you next time.